Welcome back to Crystal Clear! I'm Ostrich Fox, and Bismuth Casual may just be one of my favorite episodes of the entire Steven Universe franchise. No big game-changing story developments, no new fusions, not much melodrama. It's just a feel-good story with a lot of relatability to my time in high school at Steven's age. Amazing character interactions, and loads of shipping fuel. So without further ado, no need for my mini-review. We have an entire post-show. Let's break down the episode for all the references, Easter eggs, and details you may have missed. Of course, spoiler warning. If you have not seen this episode, go catch up and then come back. With all that said, let's dive in. The episode opens up with Steven, Connie, Pearl, and Bismuth on the way to the skating rink for a fun night out, listening to the song Can't Hold Me Now by Emily King, a real song off a real album by a real artist you can stream on your real music platform. But Emily King is also the artist performing the end credits theme for Future, Being Human, a song that very well correlates with this episode's themes. This is the second time licensed music has been used in the series, the first being Last One Out of Beach City, featuring 2 songs from real-life musician Mike Kroll. This episode wastes no time going right into shipping territory, as Bismuth and Pearl are already blushing and a bit touchy. Pearl excited for Bismuth's introduction to her human friends, and putting Bismuth out there in terms of socializing, even encouraging Bismuth to show off her gem. Bismuth can rock out with a little titty, but honestly, I've seen a lot of reception to this episode that was more or less just general shock that these two were being shipped together romantically, but honestly, I'm not surprised. The first thing Pearl did when Bismuth stepped out of Lion's Mane was jump into her arms. They had an entire Dove short together. Those were interactions written by Sugar herself. They always had a close bond, one that was a bit flirtatious at times. So this episode was very validating in terms of seeing that front and center. But don't worry if you ship Pearl Mephisto or Pearl and Volleyball or, I don't know, Pearl and watching paint dry. Steven Universe pretty much gives the vibe that every gem ship is canon. I don't care. The crystal gems are touchy and flirty with one another. Everyone a part of that alien race is probably poly, except Steven for obvious reasons, one of them being that he's a minor. Let's move on. Pearl's affinity for the commercial jingle reminded me personally of Mr. Greg, where Pearl witnesses the commercial Greg's song was transformed into and admits defeat by declaring Rose would have loved it. Now, Pearl's favorite song is a commercial jingle in a similar fashion. That's on Growth Love. Arriving at Starlight Roller Rink, a graphic tee with the words, "He was a skater boy," can be seen above the tiny insert for Jeff Liu, former storyboarder whose talent can also be found on OKKO and the end of Infinity Train Book 2. This t-shirt is of course a nod to the famous song of the same name. Avril, new album when? The instrumental in the background of the scene is also the same one that played and reunited during Garnet's wedding reception. I mention this because oddly enough, it was the scene where Bismuth caught the wedding bouquet, standing next to Pearl. This episode focuses on another loose end or unanswered question many fans wondered at some point during the initial series, but pretty much forgot about leading up to this point. Steven's interaction with children his own age. His only human friend that's actually in his age range is Connie. The rest have been teenagers way older than him, and Onion, who's way younger than him. And is Onion even human? Regardless, this episode shines light on things Steven missed out on due to his upbringing. Meanwhile, Pearl introduces everyone to her human friends. While we didn't get any mystery girl, we got 3 new lesbian babes for fans to fawn over: Khadijah, Hame, and Brandish. Connie runs into friends from her cram school as well, Patricia and Daniel. While these 2 new characters make small talk, a trans bathroom sign can be seen behind them. To the left of Daniel, our perspective. Steven struggles with his small talk, however, as he compares Daniel's test scores to the time White Diamond removed his gem. Just like in Dreams, this reinforces that the events of Diamond Days and Change Your Mind especially traumatized Steven. Trauma that is now becoming word vomit as he tries to fit in, but it's lost on Connie's friends. I find it interesting that Daniel and Patricia likely heard of Steven from Connie, but is taken aback by his gem affairs. They're not freaked out, but it's just a little bit weird. It goes to show that gems are a normal thing in this world. Humans are aware of them, they're just not aware of everything they can do and everything Steven can do. When asked about what grade Steven is in, he claims that he's in 16th, which seems to debunk the notion that he's 17, as I theorized and explained the timeline after the episode Snow Day, which in itself saw many fans believe he was now older. It was a valid assumption since future episodes take place weeks to months apart, something that is evident in this episode of Violent Dialogue, Steven telling Bismuth that his current situation and feelings have been going on for a few months. But ultimately, just don't think too much about it unless you want to make an overcomplicated video on it like me. Still worth the watch though. I appreciate Steven's remark of, if they were enemy gems, we'd be best friends by now. It reaffirms his disconnect with his human half. Other skaters throughout the rink are Orch, but I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry, it's the one from Bubble Buddies, Crazy Lace Agate, and inserts for Ian Jones-Cordy, Lamar Abrams, Kat Morris, and other Crewniverse. I do want to say the blue-haired one is likely Denny Craig's insert pre-transition, but let's not make any definite statements. And the character on the left to Kat feels like they'd also be a member of the Crewniverse, but I'm not sure whom. As Pearl and Bismuth chat, Be Cool at the Party is heard in the background, which stemmed from the episode Alone Together, which featured a similar awkward situation with Steven and Connie interacting with a crowd, and also featuring their fusion, Stevani. Bismuth confirms her crush on Pearl, with how she wanted to catch up with her, noticing she's been happier lately, while also returning to the Pearl that Bismuth used to remember. Pearl's arc is pretty much complete. That's what that line communicates to me, and it also communicates that Pearl and Bismuth aren't as close as they used to be. Bismuth isn't as interactive with Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl. I know the show's vagueness kind of made it seem like, oh, everyone's happy and hanging out together and best friends. But no, they're all the crystal gems, but Bismuth really only sees them at work in Little Homeworld. I wouldn't be surprised if it was there they made plans to actually hit up the skating rink. There's also a consistent visual gag with a no pushing sign that appears when Steven and Bismuth have a heart-to-heart as she ultimately pushes Steven onto the rink. Much like the previous episode, this episode showcases the good that happens when Steven actually talks about his feelings instead of overthinking. Though Connie seems to already caught on to something being off of Steven, pointing out that after spilling his guts, what he's worried about more than anything is skating. Sour Cream announces the skating competition, which allows Steven and Connie to bust out Stevani for the first time in future, as Emily King's Can't Hold Me Now sets the mood. Now, Stevani doesn't look all too different attire aside, which is to be expected. Stevani's appearance is the combined ages of Steven and Connie. Although Steven and Connie are going to physically age a lot more from 14 to 16 and 13 to 15, Stevani's not going to change that much at all, going from 27 to 31. Stevani skates their heart out and unfuses. Stevani's red and blue socks becoming individual red and blue socks that appear to be the same socks from Keeping It Together. In a scene from that episode, Garnet stated that they don't want to break up the pair, Steven reaffirming that they, the socks, belong together. Really makes you think. Steven mentions the events of Alone Together briefly, he and Connie request a commercial jingle as the song for Pearl and Bismuth, everyone skates, and this is the second episode with a happy ending. Great episode. We note from the promo and the abundance of scenes that haven't happened that the toughest times still lie ahead for Steven, but I'm glad we got this nice calm before the storm. But as always, these are just my thoughts and I want to hear yours. What do you think? Which episode did you enjoy more? What was your favorite highlight of Bismuth Casual? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below or tweet your thoughts at Roundtable Vids. And for more of my own thoughts, you can find me at Fox. We're also on Instagram. Help Roundtable grow by either becoming a member of this channel or supporting us over at Patreon. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please throw a like and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. Fox signing out.